Hey, what's going on, guys? Double 18 Set Shadow here. Well, despite the fact that it's only been a few days, there have been bigger things that have happened with the announcement of the adjusted rules for Cardfight Vanguard. Well, rules as in, we finally got our next restriction list, the one that we have been anticipating for quite a while, and we're going to be getting into that. In addition to new reveals that are going to be coming up soon, now that set 12 is out in Japan, we now have Lyrical Set 4 to take a look at. So we are going to take a look at a few cards to pay attention to as that continues. And then there are just a bunch of other big trends going right now that I want to review. And one of the things to also consider is that let's take a look at the front page of TCG Player's Cardfight Vanguard sets right now. And if you take a look at the very end, we're on the first page, and the promo card segment is at the very end of the first page now that History Collection has come out. So we have gone through several sets to actually push it to the point where the overdress format is about to get knocked off the front page with a few pieces. Of course, this is because we do have a few things here and there that are not overdress based, like the Premium Battle deck set and the History Collection that just came out. And it's also because of this History Collection that this next thing I'm going to talk about suddenly got another spike back up. And it's Mazer Gear Dragon, who surprisingly went all the way back up to $50 for its base listing. Nobody's actually bought it for that much yet. No, but it is getting bought for 30, and one person did buy it close to 40, and now you can only get it for around $50. If you want to buy the actual deck, you still have some options, but the Chronojet Dragon deck is still a pretty expensive one, especially compared to Messiah. If you want the basic Stride deck set, it's $82 right now base, or $250 for the premium set. So I would check with your local stores and see if they still have these. Hopefully this will at least be significantly cheaper. I'm not sure about the premium deck set. But this also brings in the restriction list. So I talked about how we were anticipating the restriction of Brainwash and GG and Combine Rusher with Eva. They finally got applied. So starting... when did it start? It starts this month. I don't remember the exact date, but if you are going to your shop qualifiers to get your buy cards, pay attention to the Bushiroad website and double check when the exact date it applies gets set, because that restriction is in flight for the BCS tournaments. So you can now no longer use Brainwash Swirler and Steam Maiden GG in the same deck, and you can't use Combine Rusher with Eva in the same deck. Now, moving on to promos, we're just going to have a quick look at the front page here, as there's just a lot to cover on this one, especially with all the new August problems, like Thesis, who is still ridiculously high priced here and so little on quantity. Hopefully we'll see more come up soon. We've got the foil versions of Brave Shooter and Togue, which are pretty expensive right now. And then you've got Vengeance Tegrea, who's down to 30. And of course, when you take a look at Broken Toys, that's still a $40 card. These are supposed to get reprinted come the BCS tournament with that exclusive promo pack that they're now giving us instead of a straight promo card. We have the Cyan Order card for Chakrabati, and that's pretty expensive. I wouldn't even bother with that. Sanctitude is basically a $20 card now between the full art and the original, so just pick whichever one you like. There's the regular version of Tongue sitting at $25 to start off with. Ardor Hatchet Dragons, $10. The Trickstar foil version of the monochrome one is $12 base right now. And then we have a few others here and there, a lot of them still without pictures, that still take up the front page. And of course, one of them I do want to talk about in detail because Dragritter Halbay, Overlord's big support card, is out of stock for the Festival Collection version and still has a good amount of listings available for the original promo, starting at $29. As for how much the foil version sold for last, $26 to $30 is the range there. So basically, this card has not really dropped in value amongst its two versions overall. One other thing to point out is that the Steel Blaze Shield Swayabon from the SP version from set 4 is also up in value. We've seen a buyout recently from $15-ish to $24, so that's up in price now, just to keep in mind. Dragveta, we've talked about in the past, but just to take another status look at it, the over double Rs that are available from set 1 and set 6 start at $20 and go to $25 for their base listings. The SP is under $50 for its base listing right now, so just keep that in mind. Inlet Pulse Dragon has also been seeing some movement recently. The SP version is down to 6 listings and has a price of $41 to start. There are 10 and 11 listings respectively of the Triple R versions on the special reprint, which are hovering between $20 to $22 for their base listings. Bastion Prime is seeing a real surge on its triple rare right now, going almost to $30 and has 7 listings left there. The SP has 6 listings starting at $38, and the SSR has not moved too much. It's got 4 listings starting at $190 right now. But something that is seeing a lot more movement overall is Alden, who has 8 listings right now for its Triple R at $10 to start, and the SP only has 1 listing left at $25. So yeah, Alden is starting to go as well, so keep that in mind. Looking into lyricals, set 2 is what I'm going to be covering most of here, starting with the big rarity cards that are available, the lyrical secret rares as well as some of the SPs. When we take a look, Kyrie's 190-ish, 198 to 200. The 3 triggers, the crit, the draw, and the front, all the effect triggers, are all over $200 right now, so that is going to be one fun thing to be looking forward to. And then you've got the LSRs of Herminia and Fortia, who I'm going to go over in a bit more detail later. SP-wise, the 3 effect triggers are still pretty high up there at 50s to near 70s now. Melty is also up there, and so is Fenneil. Ophelia we'll talk about a little bit later. And then Dylene, I'm not even sure anyone's buying that, but that's really high priced at 65. And yeah, ultimately, once we get to the bottom of the first page, things start to drop off a bit. Nala has some $10 listings again, so that's good to see. So let's start off with Fortia. With Lyrical Melodies set 4 coming up and Fortia confirmed to be getting new support and a new variant, there seems to have been at least a little bit of a bump in price where the Triple R is now $5 base from a market price of just 2-ish. The SP has a market price of 11-ish, but its base listing is now $20. Herminia is $5 right now, where its market price is also sitting there, and it has 16 listings, so still readily available. The SP, $15-ish, the market price is just around there, and the LSR, $200 right now with 2 listings, but its market price is in the $150 part. So between Fortia and Herminia, pay attention to these and their support cards, because these 2 cards are getting retrains in set 4. And just to note for Ophelia, it's, as I called out before, but this card did become a $40+ triple rare. And, well, I mean, yeah, not much else I can say about that. $50 right now for its base listing for the triple rare, and $78 right now for its SP. But despite the fact that $78 is the base, take a look at the actual sales. We have $80, $90, $100 sales on some of these SPs. So beware if you're trying to pick up SPs for this, because this thing is selling. It's selling, although it's been a bit sparse. And as we get to set 11 coming in September, I want to go back over some of the glitter boss units, starting with Eva, who is most likely to be the one to get the best buff out of the entire set. And right now it's selling not as much, but it's still selling around $13 to $15 right now, so it's still pretty solid in terms of value. Then we have Dark Tegrea. I'm not really going to go over Light today, but they're effectively close in price, although Dark Tegrea is likely to be bought in more quantities due to its use within Tegrea as it is, and is right now about $6, $5 base though. And then Tamayura is still pretty available, 29 listings selling for $3.30 to $4 right now. So it's still pretty readily available, and it's probably one of the ones you might only play one of, but I'm not too sure. Chaos, despite the fact that it is making a few appearances in Japan these days, is not going anywhere in price, and in fact is still trending downward and is selling under $1 again. 80 cents for a lot of listings that are available right now, so it's a pretty easy pickup. And then you've got Roroa, who is currently sitting around $5 overall and still has a good amount of quantities available on this front as well. Now to take a look at Lyrical Set 3 a little bit, we've got Archie, who is Kyoka magazine support. The triple rare is out of stock. And the last sales of this one were earlier this month between basically $4 to $5 if you consider shipping, I suppose. But this is out of stock, so you're going to have to look around and see if you can find this card. And if you happen to have it and want to make a quick buck, this shouldn't be too difficult to sell. And on top of that, the triple rare of Megatrend Kyoka, the grade 3, is down to 2 listings right now and has been selling for about $2 to $2.50. So the only listings available now, well, that's over $7 when you count the shipping cost. But there is one available for $5 when you consider shipping, but only one left. Stealth Dragon Unprecedented is also seeing movement now that we're getting closer to the promos for set 11. And on top of that, Shoto Doji also got some support announced, so that also has been driving some sales on this card. And it's been pretty consistent. For the last several days, it's been selling for about $3, almost close to $4 for 1 or 2 listings. Go ahead, Mikani is another one you're going to want to keep your eye out for as we get to set 11. Its price has dropped off from its massive highs from when it was played in Messiah, but it's still an $18, $20 card right now and could see another bump if Chaos continues to make strides over on this side too. Tempest is also out of listings again. We only have 2 left on the market, sitting at 68 apiece. And players are picking these up more recently at $60. So it looks like $60 is an easy price to sell at, but with so few quantities left, there might be those who are desperate to just get this close to 70. Now to get into the hits from the ban list, Brainwash Swirler is currently looking at a good amount of listings across the board. The base listing for the SP has dropped to $65 and has 15 listings. And between the reprint and the original Triple R, we're looking at $24, $25 on that front. And despite the fact that it's gotten hit with GG, most decks, at least in Japan I've seen, still tend to run Brainwash over GG. So I'd still watch out if you're intending to play Chronojet later, as it's still pretty strong even after the restriction. Combine Rusher, on the other hand, well, this one is not going very far. It's $13 base right now for the Triple R, and the FFR is currently in the $70 range. It's still a good generic to consider for some other decks, but now that you can't play it in Eva, which was the most likely candidate to play it, yeah, it's not going to see as much play as it used to. Performing Pedal Diantha is another one that I haven't talked about for a while, but it's down to 5 listings and starting at $25, going to $30 right now, so it is short as a generic for Stoichia. So pay attention to this card and see if you can find it cheaper, maybe from your locals or friends. But if you have copies, they're getting low on the market right now. Surprisingly, the Double R Mask of Hydragoom from Dragon Masquerade set 10 has gone up in value. It has been bought in the 20s, mid-20s recently, and has a lot of $25 to $30 listings right now. The reprint for set 12 is 2 months away, but I guess some players just don't want to wait. Despite that, it would probably be better just to go for the FR version, which is still around the $30 mark if you're looking to pick that up. And that's it for today's market. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.